Hey everybody, welcome back to H&H TV. We're over here in the shop area today. Uh, we had a customer a few days ago that called and he was looking for a measurement on tie rods and not the actual length of the tie rod itself, but the adjustment length is what he was looking for. He was never really got the full information whether he was just replacing inner and outer tie rods or if he had done some form of suspension upgrade or disc brake upgrade or something. And he was looking for essentially a measurement on the tie rod from essentially center to center on the inner and outer. Unfortunately, that type of information really just isn't out there. There is no just set measurement of XYZ that you use. A lot of it comes into play based upon alignment specs, what tire size, so on and so forth. All that comes into play when you're setting toe in, and then obviously camber and caster adjustment for the rest of the suspension. So we thought we'd do a quick little video, and I'm going to let Herman do most of it here, simply because of his experience level. For those of you who don't know, Herman spent 30 plus years in automotive repair, and specifically alignment and front end work. So he's probably forgotten more about alignment and front end that most people will ever know. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to him, and we're just going to kind of walk through what it's like as far as actual replacing tie rods, taking off, putting new ones on, and kind of show you a little bit using one of the shop cars as an example. So Herman, I'm turning it over to you, sir.
Okay, well, Trey told me about that situation with the customer, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, maybe there's something somewhere I forgot over the years. So a few minutes ago, I done a little research. I have a whole library of automotive repair service manuals. Some of them are genuine GM service repair manuals. I worked in a Chevrolet dealership early on in my career before I went out and had my own automotive service center. And nowhere, any place, is there any specifications on center to center adjustment on a tie rod assembly, inner and outer in the adjusting sleeve. Now, having said that, I'm saying back in the day when the cars were being built on the assembly line, I'm sure that maybe somewhere there was a measurement that they did a pre-adjustment on the inner tie rod, outer tie rod, and the sleeve before it was attached to the linkage assembly. And then they were run across a real haphazard, very quick alignment procedure at the factory. When I was in the dealership, it was customary in the dealership I worked at that every car that was sold in that dealership went across the front end machine. And I had the privilege of handling every single one of those. Did I find very many of them that was in spec? No, sure didn't. I never found a single one of them that was in spec. So having said that, we're going to, in this video, include a paragraph out of one of our repair manuals that tells you how to replace a tie rod. And nowhere does it say to do that. To remove a tie rod, it tells you in the book to take 2 hammers. You've got a spindle in between here. You back it up with this and hit it with that. And it jars that, and you can take that tie rod out. Now, back in my experience today, we use what I call a pickle fork. You got a pneumatic air hammer, you put the pickle fork in it, buzz it, and knock it out of there. Does it ruin the seal? Yeah, it sure does. But you're going to put a new tie rod on it anyway. You're going to get a new seal with it. So why worry about ruining it?
You can also get a manual version of this.
You can. I've got one.
Harbor Freight,
somewhere,
O'Reilly's, AutoZone, whoever.
Anyway,
you can get that.
Now, Jason, come over here to this car. We've got these cars put away for the winter, so we had to kind of make do. So what I always did, if I was going to replace one tie rod or all the tie rods, I would go to the grease zerk, the center of the grease zerk, and measure center to center with a tape rule on my grease zerk. This particular one here measures 13 3/4 inches. out of curiosity, I measured the other side on this particular car, and it measured 13 7/8. So that tells you right there's not a given dimension on these tie rod adjustments. What determines the adjustment on this, when you do the alignment, for example, if you replaced all 4 tie rods, you would take that measurement before you tore the car apart, put your new parts on there to that measurement, then put the car on an alignment machine. This adjustment is toe-in adjustment, toe in or toe out. That's the very last adjustment you do in the alignment procedure. You do your caster and your camber adjustment first. Those 2 adjustments can be done simultaneously, starting in 1955 all the way up through 1964. It was done with shims on the upper control arm. Then in 1965, some pot-smoking engineer convinced General Motors that they needed to put eccentrics on the lower control arm and strut rods, the most sorry suspension system that ever existed. You couldn't make them drive right hardly. But anyway, when you set your toe in, you start out by going up and centering your steering wheel. Get your steering wheel straight, come back, adjust your toe in on each side. Traditionally, you've got an 1/8 toe in, 16th on each wheel. Then you go back and you double check your steering gear, your steering wheel center, because if you don't lock the steering wheel down, it could move. In my days of doing alignment, I had a device that I would center my steering wheel, put a locking device on it to where it would not move, come down here underneath, you're down in a pit under the car, set your toe in, go back, double check that steering wheel again to make sure. Then you tighten up your adjustments here. Usually your nuts usually always point forward. This particular one right here, I did this alignment here, and really when I look at that, I did a no-no right there. I've got to admit that I did something that I shouldn't have done. They'll tell you in the manual that the rounded part of this clamp right here should cover up the groove in that adjustment sleeve. That's mainly just to keep dirt out of it. I did this because I like that's the way it looks. I'm not going to be driving this out in the mud anyway, so it don't matter. But it's important to have the steering wheel centered. If you don't have the steering wheel centered, you're going to be driving down the road and it's all cocked off to this one way. My rule of thumb for that back in the day when I was doing it, if my steering wheel was off a 16th, which was about 2 degrees, I brought it back and redid it. I screwed up. If you don't have the steering wheel centered, not only is it aggravation to look at, your turn signals are not going to cancel right, because your turn signal canceller is on the bottom of that steering wheel. If you don't have that steering wheel centered, then to turn your turn signals off after you turn is not going to work properly. So I hope that helps. Maybe the gentleman that called in the other day wanting that measurement, maybe that'll help him, because the measurement he's seeking don't exist.
So let's throw a question at you here. Let's say car's being built. All right, body's on it. We're essentially ready to go to the alignment shop. We don't have a trailer available to tow it, so we got to drive it there. So how can he help get it close enough where it's the drivability?
Well, he had some old components when he started.
Let's say we don't have those.
You don't have that?
Yeah. We took them off the frame and fixed them.
You can eyeball it.
Okay.
You can also, you've got a groove in the middle of this tire right here. If excuse me just a second. Say that you don't have a groove in the middle of the tire. You can jack that wheel up, have your hand locked in here, and you can put you a mark on that tire. See that mark right there? You can do that on each tire. You get it on the floor level with the weight on it. Measure from the floor up. I was going to say, I'm going to pick a number, 12 inches. Put your mark across there at the 12-inch mark. Go around behind, do the same thing. Measure from tire to tire off of this mark here, and get you an 1/8 of an inch toe in. You're great. Is your steering wheel going to be centered? No, it's not. It will be when your professional alignment guy gets done with it, if he knows what he's doing. But that gets you where you can drive it however many miles you need to drive it if you don't have a trailer to transport it.
So, well, folks, there's a good, quick, kind of a do-it-yourself version of that. Obviously, I understand not everybody has access to the equipment that we do, but at least it gives you an idea of what's all involved and what you need. Obviously, best way if you're replacing, take that measurement first, like you said.
Yeah.
And you're going to get it pretty close. Enough where, again, you can drive it to the alignment shop if you're putting tie rods on yourself. Hopefully the professional shop will know all that in advance and be able to do that. Same thing if you're setting up that car, first time driving it somewhere, you can at least get it close to where it's drivable if you don't have access to a trailer to tow it there. So hope this was helpful. Hope it, gives you an idea of what you need to do when you're, doing suspension work. And if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to call, ask. We're available tech-wise for you as well. We're not here just to sell you parts. We're here to help you try to put the parts on. And if you ever have any questions, please call in, talk to one of our customer service guys. If they can't, they're going to get Herman or I to help you with that and, help get you there. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on H&H TV.